So the 2015 election is a very important political exercise. Polls tell us that the Canadian electorate is undecided. With the economy, jobs, infrastructure, foreign relations, and immigration at the forefront of the electorate's mind, it is Brampton Focus's objective to address these important issues as they will affect our great city of Brampton. To begin our debate today, Badar Shamim will pose our first question to one of the tables and one of the parties. Badar, please.
Thanks, Michael. So the first question goes out to the Green Party. Brampton's population is projected to increase in the next 15 to 20 years by approximately 300,000 people. Off late, I'm sure everybody here has heard a lot about infrastructure and the lack thereof. It's estimated that Canada as a whole has roughly $123 to $400 billion deficit in infrastructure development. Ontario Chamber of Commerce has been advocating for a more equitable distribution of those funds in local communities, perhaps on a per capita basis. How would your party address that issue? And more importantly, how would you support infrastructure development that will sustain municipal and environmental sustainable projects?
Okay, can you all hear me well? Okay. To answer a couple parts of your question there, first of all, you touched on a formula for how to allocate funding to different areas. One of the problems we have with how funding is allocated from the federal level down to the provincial and then down to the municipal level is that there often isn't a formula of any kind, which leaves allocations to be done politically or by convenience. Per capita is an obvious way to allocate money for things like infrastructure, but other considerations have to come in too. For example, depending on the age breakdown of the population, there may be different needs for infrastructure such as health services, and depending on the type of work being done in that location, if it's a rural area or an urban area, there's going to be very different needs in terms of transportation. So I would say that what we have to do is establish principle-based formulas for how to allocate funding. They should be established by law, so they have to be followed by, by subsequent governments. And then with regard to the other part of your question, which was how Brampton would have its share of funding, we all know that Peel Region and Brampton in particular has been underfunded both provincially and federally in the past. It's caused a lot of problems because we've had explosive population growth. And we've seen this with the hospital and with other situations in Brampton where the reason we're having trouble is simply a matter of money. The problems are very solvable, but the money hasn't been sent here. And so what we need is strong advocacy at the federal level and at the provincial level to make sure that that money comes. Thank you.
I'll ask Ms. Sophia Brown-Ramsey to ask our next question, please. Oh, there was a rebuttal. I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So the New Democratic Party has a particular plan for this. It was stated by Tom Mulcair clearly. The New Democratic Party recognizes that there is an infrastructure deficit that exists not just in Canada but also in particular here in Brampton. And so what it is that the particular plan that the New Democratic Party has is to transfer 1 cent off of the existing federal gas tax back to the municipalities. What this means for us here in this area in the GTA is stable funding, which is what the question alluded to, because without stable funding, you can't have good planning. Stable funding of $90 million. And for us here, this means less traffic, but it also improves our economy, because we know that without a sound infrastructure, that the economy starts to suffer. On top of all of this, all of these benefits, the New Democratic Party understands as well that this is going to create jobs in our area, which is important for diversifying the economy, because currently the Conservative Party is exclusively focused on oil and gas to the detriment, not just of the entire nation, but to Brampton in particular.
And Kamal from the Liberal Party.
The name's Raj Gurwal.
Raj, I'm sorry.
That's okay. The Liberal Party is the only party that's actually made an historical infrastructure announcement. Justin Trudeau has said that we're going to spend up to $125 billion. And so how does that trickle down to the city of Brampton and Brampton East in particularly? So we're going to invest $6 billion over the next 4 years in transit. We all live in Brampton. We all see the congestion in Brampton. And what this is going to do, it's going to kickstart our economy, because right now we're in a recession and the people of Brampton need jobs. And any economist across the board has always said that government can create jobs, The best way the government can do this is with infrastructure spending. And the way we're going to do it is to ensure that we're going to win 3 modest deficits. And the only party that's been honest with Canadians has been the Liberal Party of Canada. And so directly, what is that going to mean for the people of Brampton? It's going to mean less congestion. We're going to ensure that the 410 is expanded in a timely fashion. 427 is expanded in a timely fashion. Streets like Beauvert and Mayfield, and as Brampton expands to the north, are expanded to ensure that people are spending less time commuting and more time at home with their
All
families.
right, thank you, sir. I'm just going to get Saul for a Green Party for a final rebuttal on this question.
Sure, thank you. Every party, just to clarify, every party on stage here has an infrastructure plan that they've all announced in their platforms. But the element of the question that I think has to be addressed is, if you announce an amount federally, that's fine, but how do we know it's coming to Brampton? And so the issue of the formula is the key issue here, to make sure that that money, I don't care how many billion you allocate, what's coming to us?